Hey everyone, I'm Gianluca Bifolchi, Research Manager at SpecialEurasia, and also the OSINT Uni Director. Today, I want to discuss with you some useful tools for maritime intelligence. As you can see, we released recently one of the geopolitical risk assessment report regarding Eurasian maritime. And maritime intelligence and also the geopolitical dynamics in the sea trade and the shippings are part of our course in geopolitical intelligence analysis. But recently, just a week ago, we released and published a report or an overview regarding maritime intelligence. First of all, we must define what is this kind of discipline. We can say that maritime intelligence represents the systematic collection, evaluation, and dissemination of data and intelligence concerning activities, entities, and environmental conditions within the global maritime domain. What does it mean? This means that we are going to collect data, news, information, also from social media to support always a decision-making process to support stakeholders, decision makers related to the world of maritime domain. And there are different tools that we can use for this. Of course, now I'm going to show you some of these tools. This doesn't mean that you should use these or you can avoid these or there are just these tools. This means that I'm going to provide you some freeware or free tools that I believe could be useful, can support your work as a maritime intelligence analyst. The first one is MaritimeTraffic.com. As you can see, it's an infographic platform. It's also a map which supports you to collect information regarding different maritime traffic systems and also regarding different vessels, ships, and boats. This is the entire world, as you can see, regarding the maritime domains and also the traffic. This is, let's say, a freeware platform for one reason. Some of the information on the data you can get it are are for free. You can just get access easily and clicking on one of the vessel or looking for the vessel in the search bar. In other case, you need a membership or a subscription. As you know, open source intelligence, that doesn't mean that the information and the sources are free. This means that they are not classified. And therefore, also a paid platform could be useful for you. Maritime marine traffic is one of these tools. And if we want to check more what is happening in Strait of Hormuz, for instance, which is on the spot after the beginning of the Middle East conflict, which oppose the United States and Israel against Iran, and we can see what is happening in the region. We can see also how many vessels and cargoes are still in this area, based in this area and they cannot travel or they just can also just some of them can cross the strait because as you know there is this partial blockade of the Strait of Hormuz by the Iranian authorities. Another one which is also useful is a vessel finder. Vessel finder covers more like the vessels, the cargo, but is also useful as a marine traffic regarding the movements of the different vessels. Here, for instance, in this case, if you have a tanker with satellite positions, this means that you should get the membership, the premium subscription, also in this case to get more information. But looking, for instance, this one. Here you have this Hawks Javahiru, which is an oil products tanker from Cameroon, and they provided information regarding the destinations, also the last part the it was when this vessel, this tanker, was anchored. And you can see if you want to track this tanker, you can pay $25 per month for satellite position for regarding this tanker and so on. Apart from vessel, I can suggest you also another one Another one tool, which is a ship finder. As you can see, ship finder, in this case, you should know the name of the ship, of the cargo. Currently, I, I don't have a specific indication regarding the name of a cargo, the name of a ship, but for instance, I can write something like the Garibaldi, which is a common name regarding The Garibaldi, as I told you, is a common name for different kinds of ships, and we have in this case different kinds of ship, as you can see. And they say, for instance, this one is for fishing, this other is for pleasure, this one is for passenger. So let's say this for pleasure. We click on this and we have the information. They say that this kind of ship, the flag is from Sweden, and they provide you several information, and also you can try to track where it is based. Here they provide you also the information where it was based more or less in which area. So we can track the different ships, and of course also in this case you have free data. You have also paid data if you want to go on pro. Apart from these, we have, for instance, Maritime database. Maritime database is a useful database with more than 50,000 vessels, 2,000 ports, 150 countries, where you can get information regarding the world of maritime. These information are all really useful in the field of maritime intelligence, and you can check it. Every time they should also inform you that if you're using any kind of platform, any kind of virtual map, any kind of database, you should always try to corroborate the information that you get. You should always to link the data because sometimes some of this data cannot be completely updated, particularly when you are looking for information regarding specific countries, remote countries, or remote areas. Apart from that, of course, what is also important is not just tracking vessels, discovering the maritime traffic, or which kind of parts is most useful for your company, or which kind of characteristic has a specific part. But also, you should understand what is happening in the field of maritime intelligence, what is happening in the field of shipping or maritime trade. And in some situation, you should also check the news regarding specific area. In this case, News Now is one of the news collector that you can use easily. You can just sign in for free. You can select some specific bookmarks and favorites, and you will have every time you just open on your browser this web page, you will have all the bookmarks and favorites for you. And also they have a free a premium membership, and you can select also the edition of News Now. We have like a UK, USA edition, also Nigeria, Romania, Italy, Canada, and Australia. Of course, it doesn't collect information news from Asian language countries or for Russian speaking countries or Persian speaking countries, but at least it could be useful because they provide different information from different sources, and you can see with this flag the kind of sources and also the origin of the sources. So if we write the Strait of Hormuz, that today is really important, is on the spot regarding the field of maritime shipping and sea trade, you have, for instance, the top news, or you can select the latest news in the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or the most popular, as you can see. And every time it's just that you click on one of these news, and you will be directed, redirected to the original source. You can read it, you can collect the information. Apart from them, we have the field of social media. Social media matters. In some situation, they can provide you update information, update data regarding a specific situation, but be aware that social media, particularly now with artificial intelligence, is becoming uh, really a delicate ground for open source intelligence for investigations because you have always to corroborate information and to look for additional sources, additional information to corroborate or to counter a specific narrative on social media. If you are the cargo and remote, so we have different information. First of all, you can select a web page or an image, for instance, in this case, as you can see, you can sort by the relevance or by the date. And then you can select the different social media. We have Facebook, we have X, the former Twitter. In this case, here we have Instagram, we have TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, Reddit, and also Snapchat. So as you can see, and also if you want, you have a Pinterest. So in this case, you can combine the information that you get on News Now with social media posts, social media pictures, and also with marine traffic and vessel trafficking to provide an overview, to have a clear picture what is happening in a specific area of the world. So, thanks for your attention. I would like to remind you that on April 11, 2026, we are going to organize our course in geopolitical intelligence analysis, and maritime intelligence will be discussed as a part of this course. And if you're interested in knowing more regarding the geopolitical dynamics in Eurasia regarding the maritime field, please have a look to our report, Eurasia Maritime Geopolitical Risk 2026. So thanks again. Be safe and see you next time to our video regarding open source intelligence tools.